and I've got 3 nails right here. These are some old historic nails, hundreds of years old right here. And I find them when I'm exploring, and I brought 3 of them today because I wanted to tell y'all that at one point in human history, 3 nails held up all of our sins. There was a man who is actually a God in the flesh. His name is Jesus Christ. They took 3 nails. They spread his arms out. They put both of his hands and then overlapped his feet and nailed him to a cross. And there's where he died of a crime that he did not commit. Actually, what he was charged for was healing a man. He healed a sick man, and they killed him for that. But before they nailed him on the cross, that was the end of it. The beginning was they pressed a crown of thorns on his head. He had so much blood coming down on his face he couldn't see. There was blood all in his eyes. He was spitting out his own blood because when they press these thorns, it's just hundreds of spikes going into his skull. Then they took a whip with barbs on the end of it, and they whipped him in the back. He had no skin left on his back. When there was no skin and all of his ribs were exposed on his back, they turned him over to the front, and they did the same thing where all his ribs was exposed. And then one of the guards took a spear and lanced it into his stomach. His guts were spilling out on the ground. And by the way, he was naked when they did all of this. He was naked when they beat him. It was said from the crowd that you couldn't tell if he was a man or a woman. He was beaten so badly. His genitalia was ripped off. And before that, they put a bag on his head. They took turns punching him in the face with a bag on his head. Then, after all that was done, they said, now you have to carry this cross up this hill, and we're going to nail you to it while we're spitting on you and degrading you in every way that we can. They were calling him names and spitting on him where he's covered in blood and his guts is hanging out in front of the world. So when I found these 3 nails, I couldn't help but to think that there was a man that saved this whole world. Anyone that chooses to believe in his name, Jesus Christ, will be saved. And all of our sins were held up by 3 nails just like this. That's what God can do. He can take something like this and use it as a tool for all of humanity. He can take something little and turn it into something great. So I just wanted to share that story with y'all because for the longest time I didn't know him. And when I found out that story, I've never been the same.